Hello my fellow gamers and welcome back to this next video, the next part of the series of the Vampire Coast full army roster and review. In this episode we will be covering the monsters and beasts and all the good stuff there. So let's jump straight in to the first one, which is the classic fail batch. Now, so I just want to point out, a lot of people complained that a lot of the units from this roster were similar to the vampire counts. Do you know why? Because they're vampire counts that are pirates. So yeah, they are going to have units that are similar or even the same because they've literally just gone from one place to the other. So I thought it was quite funny that a lot of people online were complaining, oh, they've just copied and pasted that. Well, yeah, but it's the lords that make it different and the unique units that make it different, not the fact that, oh, they're just zombies of cutlers and pirates. It's like, well, yeah, they're vampire coast, they're vampire pirates. They're not going to be that different to vampires. Right, rant over. I just wanted to throw that out because I thought it was funny that people were there going, oh, well, they've just got, like, free company. Well, yeah, free company and mercenaries. Pirates are mercenaries at sea. See what I'm getting at? But anyway, we'll move on. So the fail batch start at 350 gold. They are weak against armour. It's pretty much the only thing they've got. Obviously, they can fly. They cause fear. Their weapon strength is broken between weapon damage of 20 and armour piercing damage of 2. And these are purely a harassment unit, nothing more. To upgrade these, each Chevron costs between 19 to 26 gold. And the top level will make it go from 350 to 551. So you could spend 201 gold on a fail batch. What does that give you? 10 leadership, 4 melee attack, and 14 melee defense. Is it worth it? No. No, it's not. Not for 250. Oh, sorry, 201 gold. When they are a weak harassment loot unit and nothing else. So, yeah, I would not bother with that. But the option's there if you so wish to. So that's up to you. Next, we have the Scurvy Dogs. Now, these are... I do like these. They're really cool. Start at 450 gold. Very fast. Vanguard deployment. Again, weak against armour. That's just because they've got little claws and teeth and... yeah. Their weapon strength is a 19 to weapon damage and 3 to armour piercing. So slightly better with armour piercing to the badge, but not as good as weapon damage. But they do cause fear and they do have Vanguard deployment. These guys cost 21 to 29 gold per Chevron, top tier being 677. And when you fully upgrade them, they get 10 leadership, 6 melee attack, 6 melee defense. Again, I wouldn't bother, but the option is there, especially if you've got some Chevrons left. But I would probably want to put it into the more heavy hitters. And these guys I would use as just cheap, get in there, basic cost. And that way, if they're lost, it's not too much investment gone. But of course, let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong on this. Now, the next one is the Bloated Corpse for 500 gold. Causes Tower Aquatic, which is interesting. He's got armor piercing and bonus versus infantry attacks. Weapon damage is 140. Armor piercing damage is 280. Bonus versus infantry 25. Bonus versus cavalry 25. Now this guy obviously causes fear. That's interesting. I'm just looking. It's got cause fear at the bottom, but it's got cause terror at the top. But normally that'll have the cause terror at the bottom, but it doesn't. Not quite sure what's happened there. It's got siege attacker, but also it's got 2 special rules. First, Noxious Disintegration. It's an explosion type that can only be used once. It's constant. It targets itself. It's disabled if hit points are greater than 20%. Battle outcome decided. Effects. Powerful explosion causes severe damage to self. Then we have the gaseous demise. So again, an explosion. Can only use it once, funny enough. If engaged in melee, powerful explosion causes severe damage to self. Yeah, these things are they just explode. That's literally it. Just for completeness, to upgrade these by Chevron is 22 to 31 per Chevron. What do you get for all those Chevrons you buy? Well, The top tier is 740, so you're looking at 240 gold investment if you wanted to get from bottom to top. And you get 10 leadership, 8 melee attack, 13 melee defense. Now, if you put a single Sevron in this unit, you're either going for the memes, taking the mic, it was a mistake, or you're an idiot. Because these are literally just suicide units. They just run in and they explode. If I see someone pin a Sevron in, because it does not affect their explosion ability whatsoever, and for 240 gold, why would you? Why would you? I don't know. Can you disable the bloated corpse ability so they can just attack, or is it purely they just jump in, explode? I've not actually tested them too much, but if they are just the only thing they can do is explode, no, don't put any Sevrons in this whatsoever. It's just not worth it. Quickly moving on then, we have the animated Hulks coming in at 750. They have armor piercing, anti-infantry, and aquatic. Their weapon strength is 33 weapon damage and armor piercing damage of 77. So they really do hit hard. They've got siege attacker, and they do cause fear as well. To upgrade these, you'll be spending about 27 to 38 gold per Sevron, and the top tier is 1055, so 305 gold to get these to top tier. What do you get for that? 10 leadership, 6 melee attack, 9 melee defense. Not worth it, in my opinion. That is a lot of gold to put on Sevrons just to up the leadership a little bit in that. I'd rather spend that elsewhere. I mean, that's like a whole group of fail batch. Actually, for that, you could get for that, or a load of infantry just to have a bit of leadership and attack. I'd rather have the extra unit. So yeah, that is the animated Hulks. We'll then move on to the Mornagals. I think they're pronounced. Absolutely lovely people, lovely little creatures. Monstrous infantry. They come basic 1,000, just straight up 1,000 gold. Armor piercing, anti-infantry. Causes terror, and of course stalk, because you know we need these guys to be hiding. So they've got the armor piercing, the bonus versus large, the attack damage is split between weapon damage 30, armor piercing damage 20, and bonus versus infantry. Oh, sorry, read that wrong. Weapon damage 30, armor piercing damage 70, armor piercing 20. Yeah, that'll be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, so armor piercing damage 70, but their bonus versus infantry is 20. That's why I got mixed up. So weapon damage 30, armor piercing 70, bonus versus infantry 20. What do these guys come with? Well, they've got missile resistance of 30%. So even if you can see them, you know, nearly a third of your shots aren't going to do anything. They've got siege attacker, cause fear, cause terror, vanguard, because apparently they needed vanguard to go over their stalk. That's really good. They also have the hunger guy, so while they're in combat, they replenish their hit points. What? I love it. I do need to do a whole army of just these guys. I think that would be really funny to see online. Now these guys, understandably, are a lot more expensive to upgrade. 32 to 46 gold per Sevron. So when you finish upgrading them, it's 1,370. So that's a raise of 370 gold to get them to top tier. And you get 10 leadership, 7 melee attack, 10 melee defense. As you know, I'd rather invest that in other things. But if you have one group of these, and you want to invest some gold into something, I guess you could do that, because the melee defense and attack and leadership keep them in the fight longer. Keep that cause and terror going, the armor piercing and anti. It probably would be worth putting some in if you had the spare gold. I can understand that. But of course, guys, we do have the Regiment of Renown, the Night Terrors, of their amazing nice, I want to say paint job. Their nice skin there. These guys are 3 tier. And they come in at 1,200 gold. So they are 170 gold cheaper than the Mongols normal at the top tier. So what do we get differently? Well, they get the armor piercing, anti-infantry, causes terror, stalk. I'm just comparing the two. Okay, yeah, 1 extra icon comes up. So they get 12 leadership. And this is on top of the top ranged Mongols. And remember, they're cheaper by 170 gold. So their leadership goes up by 12. Their melee attack is up by 9. Their weapon strength up by 20. And their charge bonus up by 6. How's their weapon strength split? It's 36 weapon damage, 84 armor piercing damage, and bonus versus infantry still at 20. The main difference as well is, do these guys, yeah, they call, so it is purely, they've got rampage. So when this unit gets hurt, it may go on a rampage, attacking the closest one and ignoring any orders given. So they just go nuts, pretty much. But I could accept that. Now, is that worth it? Well, if I wanted to upgrade the Mongols to top tier and spend 1370, I would be very happy going 1200, so save 170 gold, and get a stronger, better, well-leadershiped, and cooler looking models than that. So if you want to invest a couple of hundred more into set Mongols, just go to the Regiment of Renown, the Night Terrors. These guys would be absolutely brilliant. They still get the Corpse Fear, Corpse Terror, Stalk, Vanguard deployment, missile resistance, all that. But their stats are just so much better than the normal Mongols, even at the top tier. These guys outdo them. So yeah, definitely worth looking into that. And finally, we have the Rotten Prometheans. The Rotten Crabs. We love the crabs. It's all good. These guys come in at basic 1,100 gold. They're armoured, armour-piercing, defender, and aquatic. Now, defender says this elite unit excels at pinning the enemy down in melee, buying time for the rest of your army to get into position. So you can have these guys just to pin down cavalry and such, is what they're aiming for here. So they've got their armour piercing, their weapon damage is split between weapon damage 22, armour piercing damage 55. That is quite a lot. They've got siege attacker, causes fear. They have charged defense versus large, which is always good, but they have to be braced for that, and the standard stuff that undead have. To upgrade these guys, you're looking at between 34 to 49 gold per Sevron. So the top tier is from 1,100 to 1,496. Now for that, 396 gold, you get 10 leadership, 7 melee attack, 15 melee defense. Would I bother? No. 1,100 is quite expensive already. Upping that to 1,496. I'd rather have the Night Terrors, to be honest. I'm just going to have a look. What's the difference between the Mongols and the Rotten Prometheans? So, there's more Mongols, but they have... The Rotten Prometheans have 780 less health than the Prometheans. This is just basic, by the way, guys. So 1,000 to 1,100. They do have 80 more armor. Their leadership is lower. Their melee defense is a lot higher, 24. But their weapon strength is a lot lower, 23. And their charge bonus is lower by 6. So yeah, this is more definitely a defensive unit. They don't have as much health, but they've got a huge amount of armor, a huge amount of melee defense. Yeah, so that's why you'd want them, is to use them. You could. I wonder if people have used them as a front line, just to hold off. Like, have a couple of them, pin down the enemy front line, and get like Mongols to come in from the side or something. Very expensive, but I think that'd be really good fun. Would I get the Severons for the Rotten Prometheans? Actually, to be honest, like a lot of this class, no. For the monsters and beasts, a lot of them do their job at the most basic cost. You don't really want to upgrade. If you did want to upgrade, I can understand if you did the animated hogs, the Mongols, or the Rotten Prometheans, so they've got more attack, more defense, more, movement, that sort of thing, more leadership. I get that, but like the bats, the scurvy dogs, the bloaters, I would not waste any, and if I could spend the gold elsewhere, I would. But if you had some spares, Severons, depending on what your strategy was, I could understand. So guys, that wraps up this episode. In the next one, we'll be doing the missiles, monsters and beasts, which is just mostly guys flying on bats, which is just hysterical. So guys, thank you very much for joining me. Do hit that like button, do comment below, and do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you tomorrow for more Vampire Coast goodness. Till then, guys, take care.